guys, the Swordsman Academy series that doesn't have swords. So yeah, this is basically a series where Adrian's got a different power and there's no swords. No one uses swords unless they want to. So let's get into this. We have 14-year-old Adrian in high school, still doesn't have a power, and is known as the cripple of his school. Okay, not now. Adrian just got expelled for being for being framed. He goes, I can't believe I just got framed. And then he walks to his next school, which is a school that he's going to go to for the rest of his life, probably. Tokyo High. He's walking over, but then he sees something. He sees a black orb coming straight for his face. He moves out of the way, goes, ugh! Instantly creates a humongous explosion behind him, blowing up a road. He goes, jeez, what was that? As then he backflips into the air and lands on his feet on a tree branch, going, As he pulls that out of his binoculars and goes, what was that? As then he sees two people fighting. One looks like a boy with one looks like a girl with pink hair, and her eyes are blue, and another one looks like with black hair and black eyes. And they look like that they're battling right now. As then a lightning bolt comes straight at him. He goes, ugh! He's bouncing out of the way, saying, "Jeez, these guys know how to aim." As then he walks over with his suitcase, because he's moving into the dorm, so he needs all this stuff. Adrian goes, ah, dang it. As everyone's cheering for the two to fight. As then he says, what's going on here? As then he says, I'm Adrian Kadoku, nice to meet you all. Everyone shushes him and says, shh, they're having a battle. We have to see who wins to see whose points go up. He goes, what points? They say, you've never heard of this school? He goes, no, I just got here. It's my first day. He goes, a girl named Misaki says, hey, I'll help you out. So, we have these things called points battles. And these point battles give you points to raise you up in the ranks. The top student at the school has a rank is rank number 5 in the entire region of the schools. Sadly, she doesn't really hang out that much. The two that are fighting right now are the 10th and 9th, are both 10th place. They're both reaching to get into the top 10. And whoever wins this gets straight into it. And also, you have to, once the person forfeits the match or sustains too much damage, the match will end. Adrian goes, that sounds brutal. She goes, so, what's your power, Adrian? Adrian goes, as then everyone starts to stare at him, even the fighters, as he says, well, I don't actually have one. Her eyes instantly light up with anger, saying, you don't have a power? She says, what? But then she backs away from him. He goes, Misaki? But then she slaps his hand and punches him in the face, knocking him across into someone. As he goes, ugh. As she says, you're a loser. Never talk to me again. He goes, geez, what was that about? Everyone looks at him saying, waste of a guy. Waste of a new student. We thought he'd actually be strong. Everyone still wants the match to go on. As Akane says in her head, as the black-haired girl actually says in her head, easy target. But then she's distracted as Remy gets shot, as Remy shoots her with a lightning bolt, which knocks her out. As Misaki says, Remy wins. As Akane, unconscious in her head, says, that damn brat, that's his fault. If he never came here, then I would have won my match. She says, I'm gonna take my revenge out on him. As he goes to the nurse's office after being blasted across an entire field with just a simple flick. Yeah, that's gotta hurt. As he goes, He goes, but then the nurse says, alright, you're free to go, as he walks out the door going, oh. But instantly a beam hits his stomach, blasting him into a wall. Almost. He senses that danger as he moves back one step as a beam flies by him. He goes, crap, I gotta go. As he jumps off the wall and blitzes himself and points himself to the edge of the wall, then kicks forward another part of the wall, making him fly down the stairs. Then he keeps on maneuvering himself out of the stairs. Then he hides on the roof where 5 students are trying to find him. As he goes, phew, what was that about? He goes to the bathroom and walks back out. Then he goes outside, goes in for lunch, eats lunch. And then he goes outside for recess, which is about an hour. As he starts punching the air, training a little bit. Akane says, what's the point of training? You don't even have a power, loser. As he goes, can I not train? She goes, are you talking back to me? The top 10 best school member? He goes, I'm pretty sure you mean top 10 best ranked member in the world. Sorry, but you didn't even make it into the top 10. You lost to that lightning girl. He goes, I didn't lose. You distracted me, which made me lose. So now you're gonna pay. She lights her hand up with black energy and blitzes, and a punch that launches him far away into a building. Remy hears this explosion, so does Alex. And then a boy named Akira, who is Alex's best friend, says, who's that? They rush out to see Akane giving the new student a beating death. And Misaki, whose power is called lasers, is starting to beam him with lasers as Akane is punching him left or right. As he can't do crap about this. My dude doesn't have a power. What does he expect? But then, when Akane's about to land his hit, he catches it somehow and goes... as he goes... and punches her way back. As he goes... then he spits out blood, but then he's hit by a laser beam. A stray laser. But he somehow dodges it and goes... Ugh. And then Misaki starts shooting laser beams that he can't dodge. He just gets hit by them and is running through them when a black beam comes right at him. But then he uses something. He knows that beam can bend. So if he can lead it straight into Misaki, it'll work. He instantly jumps off of a tree, which then the beam bends around it, as then it comes towards him as he's running fast as he can. Then he punches the ground, which digs him under. She's dragging the beam, and then he instantly pulls Misaki underground. Her legs underground, which makes the beam collide with her as he jumps in the air. He goes, ugh. He instantly grabs his arm, going, damn, my arm's broken. Then instantly, Akane says, so if she's knocked out, that means it's just me and you, no distractions. She rushes at him as he catches it again, but barely. She adds more energy, which lets go of his fist because of how much it hurts. And then he goes, crap, I'm screwed. She goes, you know, I still want to go out with the top in our school. His name is Troy, and he's awesome. You'll never be on his level, loser. And if I ever see you talking to him, I'll give you bloody hell. As then she charges up a beam and annihilates Adrian. Adrian is unconscious as he falls to the ground and gets back up and heads to the nurse, and the nurse yells at him for this is the second time, but he apologizes, saying that it's not his fault. He was targeted. And she says, yeah, that's gonna happen since you don't have a power. She says that, and then he instantly bumps into someone with black hair. Black, and it's a boy. He goes, ugh, ugh. And then he says, sorry about that. I'm kidding. Troy says sorry about that as he picks him up, and Adrian looks saying, it's alright. Adrian says, I should be the one saying sorry. He says in his head, but then a boy with blue hair named Blake grabs his shirt saying, are you dumb? That's the king, Troy, and you're just gonna tell him that? as he's about to punch him, but Adrian catches it saying, "I said sorry. You want an apology as well?" As he cracks and breaks his hand. As he goes, "Let him go. Let him go, Blake." And she goes, "Thank you." As he goes, "Whatever, now go." As Adrian goes, "Sure." As he walks away, and everyone's like, "He just got away with talking to the king like that. Anyone else, and they would have been annihilated." Troy says, "I have an interest in this boy." As he says instead, "Usually anyone who said that would cower in fear. But he's different. Very different. He's hiding something, I know it, and I'm getting it out of him." Adrian goes, "What a normal day." As he sits outside, but then he instantly sees a beam coming and says, "Not again." As then he digs underground, and instantly just gets out of there as Akane's coming for him. I'm kidding. Actually, every student, it goes wild on the newspaper that the new cripple, Adrian, has just talked back to the king with such disrespect. Yet Adrian only apologized. Akane hears about this and is erupted. She erupts with anger. Her aura, her power, flares to being stronger than Seraphina's, the queen of this school. As she goes, "I'm going to kill that little idiot." As she gets ready to murder Adrian, she grabs knives, puts them in her pocket, guns, energy blasts getting ready, an energy gun. Everyone's ready to see Akane kill him for the disrespect that he's given to this society, the hierarchy. As instantly, he's just sitting down eating lunch in the field. Instantly, an energy blast comes right at him as he goes, "Ugh!" As this one hurts way more. Because it's like a quick, sharp energy beam which hits him right in the gut. As then he falls to the floor. As he goes, as he can't even stand right now, as he's being barraged by angry energy beams, which is annihilating his system. He goes, "I was just..." As then he's hit by another blast. And then he says, "I'm just..." And then he's uppercutted into the sky by something. Then he says, "Trying..." As then he's punched again. Then he gets slapped with the pain of 1,000 bites. With 1,000 shark bites. As he goes, "To eat." As then he's uppercutted straight to the sky, and then he sees a black beam coming right at him. As then he's annihilated. His system is crushed. As then he gets the beat down of his life. Adrian does not know what to do. He can't counter any of these attacks. They're just the sheer fastness. And that's it for now, it's Adrian.